Take a nice long look.
Okay, so we got another Longlegs video. I was planning to do the everything about Longlegs video I did for Late Night with the Devil a couple of months ago, where we just discussed everything about that film. But Neon yesterday put out that they were releasing something still for Longlegs, a single or something. I believe Longlegs was in a band or something, or was trying to be a glam rock artist of sorts. So I will wait until that releases before I make that thorough breakdown, and I'm gonna watch the movie one more time. So I'm just waiting on that. This video today will just be chronicling the timeline of Longlegs, the murders, everything that happened, and what exactly the meaning of it all was. So let's get into it, but before we do, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. 35,000 subscribers is our goal. Before the end of July, we have 10 days. Can we get there? I don't know. Can we get close? I think we can. So let's get on it and let's get into the video. So Longlegs, where were they? Were they always a satanic murderer that had a little bit too much cosmetic surgery? But we do know that they may have been a musician at some point in the 60s, early 60s. Apparently on the Birthday Murders website, I went to it, you actually can hear Longlegs had a song called The Man Downstairs, Mr. Downstairs, whatever, a snippet of it. But Neon said that they will release a single for it. So I'm kind of curious about that as well. We've heard the singing chops of Longlegs as well in the movie, and it's sort of becoming a meme on its own, which I love for it because it just means more and more people are going to find out about this movie. Already 35 million plus at the box office. Could this go for the 100 million? Does Longlegs have legs to run at the box office? We'll see. But the first murder that Longlegs committed was in 1966 on July 14th, which was the Applewhites, and that was the very first instance that was connected to Longlegs. The next one would be until June 20th, 1968. 2 years later, Longlegs would go ahead and do the Clover family massacre. I tried to say murder and then I thought about massacre, so it became massacre. On August 9th, 1969, we do have the Pendergast family as well being added here. Then on April 18th, 1970, the Warrenwood family would fall victim to Longlegs. On March 11th, 1971, the Hesse murders would be committed. Then on November 16th, 1972, the Angstrom family would fall victim to the satanic Longlegs. On August 19th, 1974, the Weir family would be next. And then comes Lee Harker in 1975. So from what I've gathered and people on the internet have put up is that Lee Harker and Longlegs' first encounter was in 1975. I believe that the film takes place in 1992 or 93. I remember an interview Perkins did. He said he wanted to have the film be in 92 or 91, I believe, but then didn't want to do it because then he would have to put a picture of Reagan up and was like, you know what? No, we're going to do whenever Clinton came to be president. So let me try and see. Reagan's presidency ended in 89. That means Clinton would have been sworn in 90. So yeah, somewhere in the early 90s, possibly 93, I believe, is when Longlegs is taking place. Now, many people dated the Birthday Murders website to 95, so it could be somebody years on updating it, but we're just going to say for the sake of this that Lee Harker and Longlegs first met in 1975, and then this film is taking place in 92, going into 93, I believe. So that is when Longlegs takes a break. But before that, we learn as well in the film that Longlegs may have wanted to commit another crime, which was the Camera family, because I believe you can say kind of like Carrie Ann and Longlegs and Harker are very connected, because we can tell that Camera feels some sort of way about Harker because she was sort of the chosen one of sorts for Longlegs. And what's interesting is prior to meeting Harker, he had committed 6 crimes, which 6 is a very important number for Longlegs, as is the number 14th. That is why he targets girls whose birthday is on the 14th, who are 9 years old. And that would have been perfect for Longlegs with Lee Harker. So it was kind of something special there. So I felt like at that point he decided he needed an accomplice, because we know Ruth Harker was around the time of the Camera murder. So Camera came after Harker. So that is after Longlegs meets Harker and he makes her mother choose between either he's going to kill Lee or she's going to help him commit all of these crimes, which of course Ruth does. And then we see that Camera is probably the first one they do. Now, the reason that Longlegs, I believe, took the break now that I'm really looking into this is because the Camera murder didn't really go exactly as planned, because we saw that Carrie Ann wasn't the one that was killed or any of that, so it kind of makes the ritual not work, I believe. And that is where we see Longlegs take a break for the next 10 years until we have the Bannister family in 87, then we have the Gaddis family in 89, and the Horn family in 93, which is when the film takes place. That is the family that Lee goes to visit. So we can assume then that the whole thing with Longlegs and everything took place close to 94, which would make it about 28-ish years after Longlegs' first murder. So we definitely have the whole timeline out of everything. Now, these next 3 killings would make it the 9th killing with the Horn family, and the Carters would have been the 10th, the 10 crowns, as we learn from Revelation. And that is something that they were trying to accomplish here. Longlegs spoke about Revelation, and also Lee Harker spoke about Revelation. This was the whole thing. And remember, in the inverted triangle that Lee Harker was looking into, there was just one date missing, which was Ruby Carter's birthday. But alas, that didn't complete, and Ruth thought she had to complete the inverted triangle or else they would burn in hell. But I don't know how they wouldn't after everything else they had done, right? So very interesting stuff right there. And yeah, that's pretty much the whole timeline of Longlegs killing. I think that they were going for like the 10 crowns, and they were trying to do the 9 circles of hell. Revelation 13:1 equals to 14. So that gives you the 14, the 9, and the 6, of course, all of these important numbers for these Satanists here. And I thought it was a very, very great finale. So very quick, let's talk about Oz Perkins talking about the film as well in some of these interviews. This one is coming to us from Variety, where they were asking him about the character of Longlegs, which he says that he built around the character of Longlegs, who was a character that had made itself fit into other projects he had worked on. He talks about also the name of Longlegs just being something that just sounds like a word a writer would like. He says, we writers just like words. We like how certain words sound, look, and shape, and feel. Yes, it has a daddy Longlegs and creepy crawly aspect to it, but it also feels 70s to me, almost like a Led Zeppelin song or someone would have on the side of their van. Something groovy like that. It feels like a vintage word that people wouldn't toss around much today. It's positioned the movie in a weird place. You don't get to fully understand it. It doesn't fully fit, which is more alluring to me and creates a curiosity that I think is important. Other people have theorized that Longlegs is just because he's like taller than the young girls and he's wearing like long pants and all of them. We also have him talking about the whole fact about this character, which he says is a shabby birthday clown, a puppet master. Does he deal with stuffed animals? Is it the little pianos? You start to wonder about this person who comes to your kid on their birthday and you're in another room and you don't know they're interacting, and that's weird. And here he's talking about the whole weird thing about having these entertainers come to these kids' birthday. It says he doesn't abduct the kids because we've seen that 1,000 times before. He kind of talks to them. You start to be curious about that. When I decided that I was going to try for a serial killer procedural, that was going to be something else. I needed a bad guy. Longlegs was like, I'll do it. In your drawer of ideas, one of them says, put me in, coach, and in goes Longlegs, which he says he had been thinking about this character for a bit now. So he does talk about also the orbs and how they actually work. He does know how they work, but he's not going to tell us. So the interviewer asks, Longlegs dolls have the supernatural element to them. Do you have an explanation for how they actually work? To what he says, I do, but I won't say. It's part of the playfulness of the devil. Wouldn't it be kind of amazing if you brought a doll into someone's house and it made everybody crazy? That's sort of funny and weird. It's almost like you fucked up and let him in. You didn't have to sign for that. Just because a nun brings it into you doesn't mean you should let her into your place with it. There's also that kind of you did it to yourself vibe, which I think is sort of fun. And he goes on to talk as well about the ending. And the person asks, was that always the ending you had in mind? Was there ever a lighter ending for the movie? He says that was always the ending. The ending was meant to be tragic. The devil wins again on a small scale. One of the fun things about using the devil as your villain is that the devil never really goes for world domination. The devil always feels like, I'll just fuck with this one person. I'll wreck this family. I'll mess this kid up. I'll torment this priest. It's never like I'm going to eat the Vatican. Never gets to that point for me with the devil. The devil is a little more amusing and playful than that. The story of Lee Harker ends with the ending of the movie. The last shot that she fires is the worst thing that can happen to her. So very curious about all of that, honestly, and just listening to Oz talk about it as well. And I really do like this whole idea that this doll, this orb, was brought into the home because of the family's blind faith. And that makes it much more scarier, right? That you wouldn't think a nun or somebody's out to hurt you, but they really are. But I just wanted to give that quick little insight on this video. I know we've been talking Longlegs for the past month or so. Like I said, I'm gonna wait for Neon to release that final recording of Longlegs before I do a whole video where we talk about all of the ciphers, we talk about all the recordings, the crimes, the rituals, and all of that. That video is gonna be long, y'all. I'm just gonna warn y'all. And I don't know, I feel like it's gonna be at least 30 minutes long. So let me know what y'all think about that, or should I split it up, or should we just do a live for that? I don't know. I'm trying to think, because I don't want to just keep putting out Longlegs videos and maybe some people don't want to watch them. Let me know what you think. But we do have an Oddity review today. We do have a video on Chromecatcher, another film we really enjoyed, and we do have our Twisters review up already, so go check that out if you haven't. But this is our almost to last video on Longlegs. I'm going to pull out a poll on everything y'all want me to talk about, and you can put it on there as well, so we can just cram it into that video and just get on with Longlegs and continue forward, because we've been talking about it for some time now. But anyways, as always, make sure you check out all our videos. We kind of ton of stuff on horror, movies, TV shows, video games, music, all that good stuff you love. So go check it out. And as always, I'll see all of you next time. 35,000 subscribers. Let's get to it. Stay safe. Stay positive.